This program contains strong language and is intended for mature audiences. So, if you're not mature, fuck off right now. Sammy?
Shall we begin?
This is Livespeak with hosts Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We're bringing you tech news, gadget reviews, Kickstarter investment strategies, and anything we want to discuss with you. Stick around, it's going to be a great show.
On Livespeak Radio.
Welcome everybody to Livespeak Radio. It is March 9, 2014. With me as always is Alan Quant and John Rainey. What's up, guys?
Tired.
Making coffee.
Alan's making coffee. John's tired. Typical
I just
day.
woke up like a winner.
5 minutes before the show, Alan. Huh? What? Hello? I went through daylight savings time, kind of threw me off today. I got up and I just felt like really tired. I looked at my phone. I'm like, it says it was 10 o'clock. I got up earlier in the day from like 6 o'clock till 7, and I went back to sleep and woke up again. And I'm like, why am I so tired? Well, I wasn't supposed to be up for another hour.
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed. I was thinking this was the one where you gain an hour, or you get an extra hour.
I never can keep it straight, honestly. I
Yeah.
never know. That's thank God for technology. Because, I mean, my analog clocks, that's what made me realize. I saw them, and I'm like, wait, those aren't the same time. And then I realized, oh, yeah, it's daylight savings time. Because my phone actually changed the time.
Were you never told it's spring forward and fall back?
I'm sure I was, but I just never remembered the difference. Like, I'll confuse myself and be like, wait, spring forward means that we actually get closer to the time of waking up and past sleeping time. I get to that point where I'm just like, peanut butter! I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
America!
I have to go through it twice now. I have to go through it twice because not only do I have to go through it for the show, but I have to go through it in 2 weeks' time when we actually do it here too.
Oh, yeah.
Three weeks then. Yeah, because I wasn't ready. Didn't even know that the clocks had gone forward.
Yeah.
Yes, we're in the future right now, John.
Yeah, so you're lucky I'm even here.
There's a lot of, and there's a lot of debate, honestly. Well, not a lot anymore, probably, but there are people out there that talk about why we shouldn't even have daylight savings time anymore. Because it was, originally established by Ben Franklin back in, the 1700s, because basically he was interested in conserving candles. I mean, we don't really have that problem anymore.
I think you're a little off on the time period, but...
You think so?
Was he... No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know anything.
I was going to say, after the Declaration of Independence, 1785, something like that. I don't know.
I thought that was 1995.
We can Google it. It probably was. The 90s were pretty funky.
Yeah, it depends on where you go, though. You hear a few different stories. You hear people saying it's because you don't want it to be dark in the morning when kids are going to school, and there's a few different reasons behind it. I think that was the primary reason they kept it going. Like, really, there is no real point to it anymore.
No, and it's interesting too, because there's all kinds of studies that are going on and people do with daylight savings time that I'd never heard of. And one of them was that daylight savings time can actually kill you. They say during the first week of daylight savings time, there's actually a spike in heart attacks, according to a study done by the American Journal of Cardiology.
Really?
Stomach issues?
I know. Everybody on the show today is like, my stomach doesn't feel good. What happened? Damn daylight savings time.
My stomach is in the past, and I'm in the future.
Exactly. That's what did it. I know.
It's trying to catch up.
So, daylight savings time.
It could have been the Burger King.
It could have been the Burger King, yeah. Or the Taco Bell that you eat all the time.
I do not. I'm a vegan.
He is, right. He just eats the shell. And then the beans, and then everything else.
So does that mean you just don't eat anything that casts a shadow, is it?
I believe so.
Right.
I never really followed the rules.
Not much for following the rules.
Spiders' webs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you're only allowed to eat cows and... Right? That's a vegan, right?
I have no idea.
You're allowed to eat meat, I think, when you're a vegan. Yeah, you're allowed to eat everything when you're a vegan.
Yeah. No, I had some friends when I lived in Spokane. There was a trend going on. Alan, you probably heard of it, called straight edge.
Yeah.
They have the black X's on the back of their hands, and they don't eat meat. They don't no dairy. They don't have sex before marriage. They don't drink. They don't smoke. Well, some of them smoked. I never got that. But other than that, they were, straight arrow, basically. We don't do anything bad.
So
yeah,
they don't
speaking
live.
of the 90s.
And they were all in hardcore bands and breaking shit all the time. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch those guys. Because they yeah, whatever.
They were always crying, were they?
Yeah. Knew a couple of those too. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, what do we got going on in the tech world? Whole lot of nothing? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pretty much.
In case you didn't notice either, my parents are not in the chat, as they always are.
Where are they at?
In Vegas.
Making money.
No, God, no. My parents don't gamble. I mean, they'll probably sit at a slot or something in a slot machine here and there and play $20, but they don't gamble. But my mom, she said she was going to gamble, and I asked her if she would just at least stop by the roulette table and just put $20, take a $20 bill, set it down on black, and see what happens. And she did, and she lost it. So I owe her $20.
That's what I was going to say.
Awesome.
Did you give her the 20?
Not yet, no. But I will. I want her to go and I want to get in debt and have her try and get back out for me. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's probably a 20 she'll never see.
No.
You should always text her and say, listen, seeing as you put 20 on, you may as well throw another 20 for
Well, I
me.
figure now you got to get me even. So 20 on
That's
and
it.
win and get me even. If you don't, then just keep going until I am even. And
Exactly.
if you get collected in Vegas, it's not my problem. So
Yeah, and everything, all the winnings are profit,
Right.
regardless of what has been spent at
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
this point. Right.
Now that we got that out of the way, yeah, I'll be making some money soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, probably not.
Money.
Speaking of money, did you hear Apple made $1 billion?
That's horrible.
Yeah, that was the sale of like 10 million Apple TV units in 2013.
That's before you factor in the release of the iPhone.
Right.
That's
And
pretty scary.
and of course now there's 4K TVs. These ones weren't 4K all last year, so I wonder what they're going to do this year with the Apple TV that's 4K.
See, that whole 4K thing, I'm not falling for it yet, because it's going to be a long time before anything is even ready to be broadcast in 4K.
Well, broadcast, yeah, but they're going to do a 4K thing like they did with Blu-ray. Basically, you can buy this newer style media that will play 4K, but I don't think you'll be able to stream it or broadcast yet.
Yeah.
Especially now that cable companies like Comcast are thinking about putting a cap on your data limits on your internet.
They can't.
They're thinking about it. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a commodity that they really shouldn't own to begin with. It's the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to limit it like a cell phone. So there might be, and the number I heard was 300 gigabytes. Okay, that's a decent amount of bandwidth, but if you're streaming 4K, that's going to go away real quick. So I don't know.
Yeah, see, but that's actually perfect for them, because then that gives them the ability to create a premium service.
Oh,
that
yeah.
says, oh, wait, 4K's out now, so you can get the Boost Super Ultra
Oh, yeah.
plan.
They're taking it from the cell phone companies. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you'll get, you don't just have the 300 gigabytes, but now we'll give you a free DVR and something else if you get the premium. And yeah, oh, God, it's going to be, I don't think they should be able to do that. But Comcast joined Time Warner.
They bought Time Warner, didn't
Yeah. Not joined, sorry. They bought Time Warner, which I think was a smart move, but I think they're too far behind the game, Comcast is. Like with companies like Amazon, and they're working on their music streaming service right now. I mean, they pretty much dominate the online shopping area, but now they have the Prime Instant Video service with original series and exclusives, and the company's taken on Netflix, of course, with that. And it looks to challenge Spotify and other music services. And it'd be smart for them.
That's where the money is, though.
Yeah.
That's you look at the amount of people, like even just on Facebook, you can see the amount of announcements you see in people's profiles. I've just watched such a thing on Netflix or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's people are doing it. So there's money to be had, and that's another reason that this net neutrality thing came in as well.
Yeah.
It's all to do with money, and it's all to do with, as you said a minute ago, limiting and paying for top end services like bandwidth. You know, that they can slow down, say the likes of Amazon and places like that have high traffic. They would have to pay a premium for extra bandwidth to allow that traffic to continue, the likes of the Netflix website as well. So it's all like, you can read into everything, and everything is financially motivated when it comes to things like that. So it's pretty obvious what's going on. So there's some more conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I mean, with the main source of entertainment not being broadcast in cable TV anymore, they've got to find a new way to make their money.
Yeah, but then, you know, they're like Amazon here, according to one label source, the company's demand for deeper discounts is what's holding up talks with the music labels and stuff. Is Amazon wants such a good deal and then the company doesn't want to lose money, of course, giving away the music. So they're trying to get it so Amazon has the best deal online like they do with everything else. Maybe the next thing they should take on really is maybe health insurance, and that would be smart. Maybe we could get that going.
Or maybe next thing, the government will take over music.
Yeah. Good Lord.
And the artist will get even less then. I seen Tabby Callahan commenting about that the last day on his Facebook page, saying that it's more and more about the record industry making money and the artists aren't making anything now.
Oh, I know. They're just the pawns.
Yeah.
They make the music.
And like that's what you hear about, you know, record companies are in negotiations with X, Y, and Z to promote music here and there, and there's no mention of the fact that, you know, where's the representation of the people who actually create the music? Record companies are only go-betweens.
Right.
You know, and like when you think about record companies nowadays, there technically is no need for them, for the simple reason that you don't have to produce a physical product too much anymore.
That's true.
You know, and a lot of artists are actually going down that route of producing stuff independently. You know, the only thing a record label does for you now is it gives you recognition.
Right.
Yeah, or the money or the money. That's really how they get you, is the money to make your product.
Yeah, and the money to branch out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if a record label came to me and my band and was like, "Hey, we're going to give you $50,000 each to put out one album," sold, done. You know, we're not even going to think about it, because it's like, oh my God. You know, we can not only record our album in some amazing studio, but we're also going to actually get paid for it, and then sign that contract, and then now we're kind of their bitches for the remainder of that contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole crowdfunding platform actually has been, I think it's been a breath of fresh air for music, because it's no longer an executive sitting in an office who's completely out of touch with the music world that's deciding what we hear and what we don't. You get artists and bands going on to crowdfunding platforms in order to finance their own albums, the likes of Scott McIntyre. And it's the people who decide whether or not he gets to make that album, not a record industry official.
Yeah, there's talks now, and people are actually starting to get upset with places like Kickstarter and stuff, because they wait so long for their product to you know, like with, say, a music album, if you pitch in ahead of time, it's going to take a while for them to make the album, and you might be waiting a year.
Yeah.
You know, and that sucks, because it's money that they can get and go and do all their stuff while you're sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and not getting anything for a year.
Yeah, but everybody knows, like, you know yourself, most people, if you know that your favorite band is releasing a record, you generally tend to know a year in advance. So all you've really done here is you've paid for it a year in advance. So you're kind of building the anticipation for it.
Yeah, as long as they have something current and everything.
Yeah.
But there's people that are starting out with nothing current, trying to use Kickstarter and crowdfunding, and people have nothing to sit and wait for. You know what I mean? And people are also on Kickstarter using that to their advantage when they are talking about their own product, saying, we're not going to make you wait a year. We're going to take advantage of this and get pre-advanced sales and things done for you guys, blah, blah, blah.
There's a music group here that I've only found out last week that they're called Rack House Pilfer. They're a bluegrass band. They're pretty good. But they had a crowdfunding campaign about 6 or 8 months ago to raise funds to produce a second album. And they went 3 times over their goal They went to Nashville. They're only back from Nashville. They recorded there the week before last.
Oh, okay.
So, and the album art is already out. They had it put up on their Facebook page the last day. So they seem to be moving pretty quick. You know.
Wow.
So, and they even got a few dates over there. Played a few gigs.
Oh, interesting.
So it is a good platform now. I think it's the way of the future.
Yeah.
The way of the future.
The way of the future, he says. I'm still waiting for the hoverboard, but we'll get to that.
It nearly came out. You saw that?
Yeah, I did see. What was that about? I glanced it on...
I glanced at it as well.
Yeah, I didn't really see what was... It looked just like it, and there was some kind of a scam behind it.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was involved in it as well, and I think a lot of people believed that they had actually done it.
Yeah, it was called the Hover.
Video produced and everything.
Yeah, the Hover, HUVR. Anyone above 30, of course, knows of the hoverboard, but the first powerless shoes are already confirmed. I talked about that with you, John. I don't think I ever actually said that on air, but they're doing... Yeah. Did you say Nike?
Is it Nike?
Oh, I thought you said Nike.
I did say Nike, yes.
But yeah, they're doing the power lace idea, like you saw in the movies, where your shoes tie themselves, basically. But God, how lazy are we? But there was the scandal of the hoverboard that was supposed to be real deal. I mean, even big names and celebrities came into the act promoting this thing. Like with Christopher Lloyd, there was Tony Hawk, Terrell Owens, Agnes Bruckner. I don't know who Schoolboy Q is, but whoever that was. And Moby, of course. They were all talking about it and giving it all kinds of hype. I think it's interesting what people are doing with pranks nowadays. Jimmy Kimmel is doing that every week, it seems like. Maybe it's some kind of new like marketing technique or something. I don't know.
Yeah, viral videos. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way of the future. Doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom.
Is that your future noise?
That was my future noise. In my head, it sounded different.
I think that's the entrance for ABC.
Yeah, or the Olympics or something stupid.
Ding, ding, ding. Dude, you know, that just cost us like $500,000 right there, Justin.
Yeah, times two because you just did it.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. No, we are close to the future though, because what did we talk about earlier in the week? Bacon alarm clock coming out. Yeah, bacon alarm clock. Yum.
Future is now the present. What?
Is that your future sound? That was nice. Yeah, there's a little attachment. It's for iPhone only. So Oscar Mayer. It is actually Oscar Mayer. You know, and I was reading it the other day, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. That's the company, Oscar Mayer. They cooked up this.
This isn't a prank either.
No,
this is serious.
It's serious. They're actually giving away 4,700 of them. I don't know why 4,700. But we have a link on our website. If you go to livespeakradio.com/tech and go to the bacon alarm, there's a link there you can click for your chance to actually get one of these things and hook it into your iPhone. What it does is it just it convert your smartphone into this frying pan, basically, of sizzling bacon. It's got the noise. It's got supposedly the cartridge has the bacon smell in it.
Does this thing have? Is it the smoke coming out of it? Is that real?
I don't know if it's
smoke.
smoke. I don't know. Is it even safe to inhale?
Right. This looks toxic.
Do you know something? That could end up being seriously offensive to people who don't eat pork.
Uh-oh, PETA.
No, but see, they're totally safe because it's a fake fragrance. Totally fake.
Yeah, but...
now, if they were killing pigs...
Real pigs were harmed.
Testing the likeness of the smell, they were harmed.
So you go straight to hell for using something like that because you're basically tempting people.
This isn't the first of its kind, though. I mean, there's been bacon alarm clocks. There was a Kickstarter a while ago that we even talked about on the show that was a bacon alarm clock, and it was a big box, probably 5 inches by 5 inches. It was a pretty big. Do you guys remember that at all? There was actually a bacon alarm clock in Kickstarter. It didn't make much money, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't an attachment. It was just its own box, and you actually put bacon in it. I think, pretty sure that was how it went too. You put bacon on the inside, and there's a little light bulb that would actually cook it.
So tell me, how does it generate the smell? That's what I can't get my head around.
The cartridge on this thing?
Is it a refillable one, or
it must be?
Yeah.
Either you pay for it and it works for a while, and then you buy a new one.
Right.
It's weird.
I'll just go out and stick my head in the fridge.
I was telling you guys the other day, I'd just be pissed off if I woke up and smelled bacon and there wasn't really any bacon. Then I'd just go back to bed. I'd be mad.
I think
this is bullshit.
My luck is I'd finally get one of these, and if I had a wife, she would be pregnant trying to smell this thing in the morning and just puke all over the place because it probably reeks. It probably just stinks like, oh, I can't even imagine it smelling like real bacon.
That's another app that supposedly came out. I saw it yesterday, and I was in two minds of whether or not to post it on the website.
What?
But apparently, there's a new app that's, and it's not a downloadable app, and I can't remember the link to it, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it. It's a new app for improving your cunnilingus skills.
Oh, it must be Android. Definitely not an Apple app.
Yeah, they're saying it's a thing that allows you to improve the use of your tongue for oral sex. But they're saying that it's already causing problems because people's iPhones carry so many germs and stuff, and they're licking their phones. So you need something to put across it. Yeah, so it's a bit nasty. That's why I didn't put it on the website. Wasn't suitable for the website, but it's okay to talk about it here.
Time for the phone condom.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah. The things that people invent. And actually, I mean, 4,700 of these are getting given away. And I don't think they're going to sell any of them after that.
Probably not. That's why they've been given away. Do you remember a couple of years back?
Thing.
Yeah, it is.
Remember a few years back, PlayStation released a couple of games on this side of the water anyway, football or soccer, as you'd say. And there was an area on it that you scratched the CD and you could smell freshly cut grass.
Oh, yeah.
These scratch and sniff things.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really take off too well, did they?
No, and there's been things like that. They've tried cartridges for TVs. You hook in this device, and it's basically a little cartridge. And during a movie that they specify, you would smell something during the movie.
Probably the dog.
And I don't know if they made them for porns or not, but your place would just reek like sex. Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't want that happening for the toilet scene in Trainspotting.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. That's foul.
That's got to be my favorite movie.
That explains so much about you two. So much. Oh, my gosh. So at least we have the bacon alarm clock, so we're happy with that.
Have you put your name down for one?
No.
You don't have an iPhone.
I have an iPod. Yeah. I wonder if it would probably work on that. It just plugs into the headphone jack. You know what? I'm going to apply right now.
I wouldn't be running out to buy an iPhone to get one either.
No. God, no. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'd stick with the real thing. There's no point in teasing yourself. Go and cook the bloody bacon.
Exactly.
And if you want to smell
that's what it is. It's a reminder that you need to go get bacon.
Well, and you know what the sad thing is?
It's
from a company that makes hot dogs, Oscar Mayer. I don't want to go buy their bacon.
They make bacon.
Yeah. Gross.
I think the pig makes bacon. They only.
Yeah, they process it and make it look like real bacon. Oh, what else we got? Tech news? Anything huge? Huge? No.
No, that's it. End of the show.
In technology?
We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming. Visit us, livespeakradio.com. Okay, bye.
Livespeak Radio.
No, there's the SXSW, the South by Southwest conference is going on from the 7th through the, actually it's the 16th. It shows it 7th through 11th in the picture we have on the website. But one of the things that was released there is Android. Actually, the lead from Android says the wearable developer tools will be coming 2 weeks. So people finally will be able to get the SDK for the Android so they can mess with the wearable, like the phone and things, or the wristwatch. Probably even the kids' little baby monitor stuff. But Google's trying to get Android into as many devices as they possibly can. So they're giving out all their developer tools and say, hey, build it for your BlackBerry. Sorry. That's not going to happen. But they also promised that when the SDK is available, that the company will offer its vision on how it sees the market developing for wearables. It'll be quite some time before Google announces any specific products that they're making, however. So there's going to be an extensive period of collecting developer feedback from the SDK before moving forward with other plans, says Google. So it's a matter of time before Google comes out with their own wearable stuff. And Google's mobile OS, which I'm interested about. I'm waiting for them to make a solid operating system.
That's not Android-based.
Well, it could be Android-based, but, I mean, it needs to have a few other things added to it. Like, I was playing with Ubuntu the other day. I was telling you about that.
Yeah.
And the fact that I ran it off of a USB stick, and it ran faster than my desktop computer at home. I mean, it doesn't take much, and it's stable. It's Linux. I mean, so.
Has that anything to do with the fact that it's a solid-state drive?
It could be. That's part of it. But majority of it is there's just not 5,000 processes running.
Yeah.
You know.
I just saw something really funny, actually. I'm on Facebook, Justin. Sorry, I have to.
I think Alan is too, so that's fine. Yeah. I'll do the news.
Some guy is after posting a promo video for his Udemy course. Graphic design with Microsoft Word.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. We need to get that guy on the show.
Want to create beautiful documents. Interested in learning graphic design but not ready to invest in dedicated program, e.g. Photoshop. Have basic Word skills.
Wow.
That's, graphic design in Microsoft Word. No, I don't think so. Even though there was, there's a guy on YouTube who was actually, some of the stuff he produced with MS Paint was pretty impressive.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah. The guy that would make the Mona Lisa and a bunch of other things. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really good at it. Now, I'm sure it probably took him a long time to get that good, but
yeah,
he was pretty good. But I can't see you doing graphic design with Microsoft Word.
No.
You know.
No. That'd be a pain. Why not just use like Pixlr or something online?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Like, you might be able to build a website with Microsoft Word, but graphic design wise, I don't think so.
That's true. That's how I make websites.
Do you Microsoft Word?
Yeah, I just get templates and then I sell them for like $5,000.
That's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. It's really smart. Low overhead. Pretty much.
You'll need to be going on to the YouTube and watching all these hours of long videos to.
Right. Yeah, like number 53 or something. Yeah. No, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, that's what I spent my last couple of days doing, going through Alan's series.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, are you understanding it well, or are you just kind of following along? You said you added some of your own stuff to it, so you must be understanding what you're doing. See, my thing is I only went 1 through 10 on his video so far, and I'm going to have to rewatch probably 5 through 10.
See, it's hard to get the time to sit down and watch something like that and start to finish. And, it's something that you need to make a commitment to. I've been trying for the last year to learn PHP, but I'm fine if I can get a run at it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when it's broken up like that, you start to forget because you haven't spent any time doing it. So recently, I've been trying to get into it, and I'm starting to get a pretty good understanding of it. I feel comfortable enough going through, looking at PHP code and knowing what it's doing.
Oh, right.
And I'm only just starting to get to the stage now where I can kind of write it without too much assistance.
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve, but it's one that I'm kind of committed to doing.
Well, and I'm like you too. I have to see it and then do it, or otherwise. I tried reading some of the books that I took from Alan's website, the resources, and I got the web design books and the PHP, and even the web design, the HTML books were hard for me to understand because I just can't like read and just know what I'm reading. I have to read it and then I have to see it. I have to do it, and Alan's series, which is really good, and I hope his Indiegogo does really well, and we'll talk about that in a second. But he's doing a project-based series, which makes it so much easier to learn because you have a project in mind.
Exactly,
a common project.
The thing about this is it's a practical project as well. But I just go back to what you said there about learning from books. I never learned anything. I'm not saying even at school, but I'm saying in recent times. when I learned how to code HTML, I learned it by doing it. I didn't read any book. And any web designer or anybody like that says that they don't use the internet, because I still use it. Like,
you have to,
looking for snippets of code and things like that.
It's not that you're going and looking up how to write a tag or what a tag is. You just, you can't remember everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, I was building my own CMS, and I'm not proficient with PHP. But what I was doing is I was using other resources, looking at their ideas, incorporating different pieces of different people's codes into my CMS to make it work. I got Alan on board. Alan helped me with a little bit of it as well. So, even though I'm not proficient in PHP, I'm still able to go in and decipher it and put things together and make them work. So that's I could never understand. You need, in my case anyways, I need to be doing something practical to learn it, rather than actually reaming through it and reading about it and forgetting about it by the time you turn to the next page,
Right.
Certainly use it as a companion.
Yeah.
But in terms of learning it, you're better off with the hands-on, as far as I'm concerned anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
But Alan's series is a practical series, because you have a physical product at the end of it that you can use as a CMS.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, that's nice.
Not only you're learning something, as well as having something
and that's
you can put into.
I was going to say, that's a pretty legitimate skill to have, too. I mean, if you can learn to make CMSs, I mean, you can. That's a pretty nice skill to have.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice.
For sure.
Yeah, I got to continue doing it. I don't know. I do a couple videos and I feel lost, and it's like, I got to go back. It's hard to go back after doing 5 videos and do them over again. But that's just how my brain is, and I'm the same with reading. Actually, I'm really, really bad with reading. I'll read a paragraph, and then I'll have to stop and go, crap, what was that paragraph about? And go back and reread it. It just, nothing sticks unless I'm super, super interested in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You have to be in the right frame of mind to do it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just sit around and expect, switch on to educational mode now at this point, because you have to get yourself into that mode. But I'm kind of, the way I do it, I always tend to do it late at night when there's no noise around. I'm guaranteed no interruptions. That I can sit and concentrate and be focused on one thing. That's...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how I find it. So,
well, that's...
But that's the way I learn anyways. That's the way I've kind of always learned stuff practically, rather than actually going in and academically learning it.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to. There's certain situations that you'll, as practical, you'll learn it and never forget it. Now, if you're reading it and you're just following along, so that's how I feel when I do some of the videos. Is I'm just following along, and I have to stop and go, "What did I just do?" I mean, I'm copying everything he's doing, but I'm not learning it. So
see, that's another thing that I do as well. Is and it's when it comes to my clients, when I'm showing them how to use a website. Say, for example, if I'm after doing a WordPress website for someone, or if they're using my CMS,
right?
I'll sit them down at the computer and I'll say, you do it. Because if I show you how to do it, you're just sitting there and you're not learning anything. You're seeing me doing something. Whereas if you sit down and you do it yourself, it sticks better.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of my clients generally tend not to come back asking silly questions, because they've done it themselves from day one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
so that's it.
I hope you're on like number 53 or something in his series of, who knows?
Yeah.
There's no real end to it yet with this series that I know of, but I think that works in his favor for that kind of project.
Yeah. And I would be probably further on if I spent about 2 hours last night adding a photo upload option to it.
Oh.
So I would probably be finished the series if I had not done that and left it till afterwards. But I got to the point where I felt, right, I'm going to add it now, because if I don't do it now, I won't do it again.
Right.
Oh yeah. That type of thing. So, but it's a pretty, anybody who's interested in doing it, it's on the Digital Craft YouTube page. It's a series on creating a dynamic website. And it's the Atom CMS series. It's definitely, for anybody who's thinking of building their own website, it's got a pretty powerful back-end system as well, that you can add in pages and moderate the website yourself. So update the website. So it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah. And of course, we'll have links to that, and you can get all that at livespeakradio.com or over on Alan's page, thedigitalcraft.com. Let's take a break, and we'll play some music here. This is Left Lane Cruiser, and we'll be back here on Livespeak Radio.
Hey everybody, this is John from Livespeak Radio. Radio advertising has always been one of the best mediums for businesses to reach their target audience, and with the success of internet radio, it's reached a whole new level. Internet radio is the most cost-effective way to reach a wider audience, and at Livespeak Radio, we have a global audience. That means that we can offer the ideal platform for your business to advertise. To advertise on Livespeak Radio, get in touch with us today through our website at livespeakradio.com or send us an email to marketing@livespeakradio.com.
Back again. Now that we paid the bills, we're back with Justin, Ellen, and John on Livespeak Radio.
Welcome back, everybody, to Livespeak Radio. I want to say thank you again to IndianaTalks.com for letting us broadcast with them. You can head over there and get their mobile app now, IndianaTalks.com. I have it on my phone, and I use it to listen to their shows all the time. So head over there. Also, check out our website if you want to see the stories from the show and past stories and past episodes as well at livespeakradio.com. Also, like we were talking about, if you want to learn how to make websites and development, you can go over to thedigitalcraft.com, and Alan has a ton of videos and things like that. John also teaches those as well, don't you? You have a couple videos.
I do, yeah.
Yep. I have
Sligo Web Solutions.
I have a series, or not a series, but a small video walkthrough series. I don't know what you'd call it. Tutorial, I guess. I have a lot of people that ask me computer questions all the time. And one of the main ones is, when I get a new computer, how do I take it out of the box and make it function the way it's supposed to? In other words, how do I take all the shit off of it? Mass quantity computer places like HP, Dell, Toshiba, they all have their own software they put on there, of course, and we call it bloatware. And the settings are set up for a certain way for their company and things like that. So my video is going to be a series showing you how to take it out of the box and take all that crap off of there and get it to run the way it's supposed to. So that, I don't know when that'll be done, but I am working on it. I have working on 2 laptops, actually. My parents bought some pretty cheap laptops. Inexpensive, I won't say cheap. But they're Toshibas, and Toshibas are notorious for crap.
Really?
Yeah. No,
My wife is a Toshiba, and she has it must have it 4 years, and it's really good.
Yeah, well, see, they didn't have so many things back 4 years ago with Toshibas. Now they have, like, Toshiba power management, hard drive management, screensaver. Right. It's like all this crap that you don't need. And now a lot of people are saying, well, why don't I just go and format my computer? That's fine if you want to do that. But I want to teach you how to take the crap off of it so you don't have to format it.
Yeah.
And the other thing when you do format, if you just take like a Windows 8 CD or Windows 7 CD and format your computer, you're going to delete your recovery partition, which you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I'll show you how to keep that. Another thing that I don't like that they do, a lot of them do now, Asus is especially notorious for this, is the hard drive, is they partition it. When you get it, your hard drive, you get a terabyte hard drive, but they only give you 100 gigabytes on the C drive, and then the other 900 or so on the D drive for data. And the problem with that is you start installing software, and some software will not let you install it anywhere but C drive.
Yeah.
And that's where temp files are stored and all that. So that 100 gigs fills up quick.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, all right.
Yeah. So I don't know. In my video, I don't know if these hard drives are set up that way. If they are, I'll probably show how to repartition them and things like that. But true nerd stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, but that'd be a really, really useful video.
Yeah. And, I'm thinking about also doing one with Windows 8 and how to make it look and function like Windows 7. If you don't want to downgrade to Windows 7, because that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty decent series, too.
You attempted that, did you? Or were you successful in it?
I have done it twice, yeah, but it's not a fun process.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Not. They changed.
Because I think Alan attempted it as well.
Yeah, he may have. It's ugly because they changed the partitioning table from the old school NTFS to a GPT, and it's so strange the way they have it set up. They have an EFI. I can't remember what that stands for, electronic file something, startup, instead of just a master boot record that has instructions on it. So you can't, you have to just format the entire hard drive and wipe it out clean, and then change the partitioning table. Yeah, and then you can put Windows 7 on there most of the time.
And in terms of drivers and stuff like that for Windows 7, can you get them?
You have to check that ahead of time.
Right.
Most of the time, yes, because Windows 7 was out for long enough that most people did drivers for that. And then when Windows 8 came out, there's not a huge difference between Windows 8 and 7 as far as the kernel or the drivers and things like that, how they function. It's all built off of the same kernel. So, yeah, most of the time you'll be able to find drivers. And with Windows 7 and 8, they've done really well with universal drivers and stuff. So you just plug it into the internet, and if it, of course, activates your network card with the right driver, you can just download everything.
And what about, say, now if you have a touchscreen computer with a Windows 8 on it or something like that, and you go back to a Windows 7 setup, will you have issues with your touchscreen?
Most of the times it'll be fine. You have this; it comes with a certain kind of software to calibrate it and things like that. As long as that software works with Windows 7, and that's something you definitely want to check ahead of time. You always want to see if your computer is compatible for a downgrade before you do it. There are ways to force it to do that, manually install drivers and things like that, but that can get really ugly.
I know HP were offering new PCs with Windows 7 installed on them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are pissed off with Windows 8.
Yeah.
But the reason they're able to do that is because they've bought the OEM license from Microsoft, which entitles them to keep selling the older version of the software for 18 months afterwards, I think. So it must be coming to an end now at this stage. But it's something that I had considered doing at some point.
Yeah.
Was buying a new PC, but I didn't want Windows 8. Because anytime, I haven't used it too much, but anytime I have, it's been a frustrating situation trying to find stuff. It's a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure if I sat down in front of it, I'd probably go through it, but I haven't the time. I turn on a computer now, I turn it on for a reason, and it's to do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't fancy spending 45 minutes going through it looking to see how to find stuff.
No. And it's funny because I see some of my favorite TV shows that I watch, like one is Elementary, Almost Human. They both, in the show, blatantly show the Microsoft interface.
Really?
Yeah, they're detective shows. So when they're like, "Oh, we got a lead, check this out," they'll pick up one of those, the laptop not all-in-ones, but the little RTs that have the keyboard that disconnects. So they pick that up, they snap the back on, and then they flip through the Windows interface, showing you the interface. Then they hit the play button. So they're really trying to get it out there and make people comfortable with seeing it.
Yeah.
But that's very difficult because
I think that might have more to do with product placement than actual trying to get. I suppose on Microsoft's side, it's got to do with getting the product out there.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's definitely product placement, but to the extent that they do it, they don't just show a Microsoft Windows thing. They show you the interface. I mean, it's so blatant that it's almost annoying when they do it in the show. It's like, I don't really need to see that. You could just say that you had a picture on your thing and show us the picture on your tablet. We don't need to see you getting into it.
Yeah,
so,
but it's no more annoying than seeing a TV hacker tapping away at their keyboard and nothing happening on the screen.
Oh, it's even funnier in Almost Human. They have a hacker that hacks with an iPad. I'm like, yeah, right, dude. You know how hard it is to type on an iPad? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, that's technology for you, I guess.
Yeah, but we were talking about that story with the iPad that was being willed as part of a mother died and willed her iPad.
Oh, right, yeah.
To her son, but Apple took issue with it. Mm-hmm. It said, when you die, don't forget to include your Apple ID in your will, because if you happen to bequeath any Apple devices to friends and family, they'll be useless hunks of metal and glass without the secret word. At least that's what we're left believing after a standoff between Apple and a dead mother's son. It's a simple but sad story. A couple of years ago, Josh Grant's mother bought an iPad after being diagnosed with cancer. She lost her battle and passed away. In her will, she said she wanted her estate split between her 5 sons. They decided that the eldest son would have the iPad. However, he didn't have her Apple ID and password, so he needed Apple's help unlocking the device. Apple recently rolled out a feature called Activation Lock to act as a theft deterrent, and without an Apple ID and password, you can't restore the iPad. So we obviously couldn't get permission because Mum had died. So my brother had been back and forth with Apple, asking for some kind, and they were asking for some kind of proof that he can have the iPad. Grant explained. We provided the death certificate, will and solicitor's letter, but it wasn't enough. They've now asked for a court order to prove that Mum was the owner of the iPad and the iTunes account.
Oh my God.
The court order to unlock an iPad, it seems extreme, unfortunately, this is the way it is. But the BBC broke the story. A lot of people shared similar stories of being locked out of Apple's products that they acquired legally. And it's a classic case of theft deterrent programs going a stage too far and companies being unwilling to bend their rules. Device theft is a tough problem, though. US officials have been talking for a while about implementing a kill switch that would deactivate stolen products, which is a good idea. I think it would be a pretty good deterrent.
Yeah, but the innocent people, though, suffer from that, like this guy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
If I don't steal it and I can't access my shit, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
According to the story, it says on the one hand, you can't blame the companies. That's what the rules are there for. And every opportunity for an exception leaves the door open for a disaster. And on the other hand, when an iPod is part of a will or an iPad or any kind of a thing, it seems like they could reconsider the written permission detail. Now, I know I had a situation with a lady recently where her daughter forgot the Android email, the email that was associated with her Android account. And I know you can do a reset on them to reset the email address that's been associated with it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's an option on the iPad.
They're so strict with that. If you mess with the password too many times, you get locked out, and they're very, very strict. I mean, even when it comes to their apps and things like that, and submitting something takes a week for them just to review it, and they're always, well, for the most part, they've been very security conscious. Seems like they're kind of letting go of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I got an
update
iPad,
on that.
I would want my iTunes with it. I mean, having to go to court and prove that my mother's iPad was hers after she dies, it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Jesus.
Definitely.
But if you think about it, it is digital music. It seems like it's not worth anything, but they pay for these songs on iTunes. And like we talked about Bruce Willis having his giant library of music. I mean, could you imagine how much that's actually worth?
Yeah. That's the story. I can't remember. I think we talked about that at one point on the show.
I think we did, yeah.
Where he wants to will his music collection on iTunes to his kids, and Apple won't allow him to do it because they said that he doesn't own the music.
Right.
So what does he own?
That's right. He owns the right to listen to it on his device.
Yeah. You see, that's where the physical product was definitely advantageous because you just handed the CD or tape or whatever it was you had.
Right.
To the next person. It was a physical product, but that's the problem with digital. And I heard during the week that there was, at one point, they had a failsafe built into MP3 files that could only be copied once. Was that the case? Because I don't remember that ever being the case.
I don't remember that being the case either.
I read somewhere that when they came out first, that was a failsafe that they had built into it, but obviously they took it out.
I remember there was a lot of tracking going on, especially after Napster. They started, the MP3s started having hidden meta information and tags and things like that, easily trackable. Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, I think that's possibly where I read it because I was doing some research on Sean Parker during the week. Or something. And I think that was where it was mentioned. It was mentioned that they had some kind of encoding put into an MP3 so that it could only be shared once or something like that.
Wow.
Anyways. Another piece of useless information that I picked up somewhere during the week that I don't remember where I got it from.
90% of my brain is like that.
Yeah, there's lots of that shit rolling around in my head too.
Yeah, we talked last week about Yahoo changing their logo and having an engineer change their logo, which is just funny to me. But they also did a social data U-turn. They're going to ditch Google and Facebook sign-ins for all their products now.
We talked about this actually. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but we certainly talked about it in person.
No, we didn't get to talk about it yet on the show.
It was one of the things that I noticed last week because I went to log into Flickr, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it Flickr?
It must be, because that's who owns them now.
Yeah, and it wouldn't allow me to log in because I logged in, the last time I'd logged in, Yahoo didn't own it. And it asked me to confirm my Yahoo, whatever. And the other option was to log in using Facebook or Google Chrome.
Yeah, see, a lot of people did that as they took the Facebook and Google thing, and it was convenient. But the problem with that is that you are losing customers because, like in this case, you don't have to have a Yahoo ID or a Yahoo account. Now you do. But before that, you didn't have to. So their customer count went way down. So now they're going to remove the option for users to sign in like that. Noting the change earlier, actually Reuters reports that the shutting out of rival services sign-ins will be a gradual one, starting with Yahoo Sports Tournament Pick'em. It's a fantasy sports service team or service focused on the NCAA college basketball tournament. So this service already requires users to register or have a Yahoo ID to gain access, but Yahoo's plans here are grand and not incremental, with the spokeswoman confirming it will eventually be removing all Google and Facebook sign-in buttons for all Yahoo properties, albeit it's not putting a timeline on the social data reclamation, though. They say, I quote, Yahoo is continually working on improving the user experience, which includes our sign-in process for Yahoo Sports Tourney Pick'em. This new process, which now asks users to sign in with a Yahoo username, will allow us to offer the best personalized experience to everyone. Said the company in a statement. Now, Reuters notes this is effectively a reversal of the strategy Yahoo adopted under former CEO Carol Bartz back in 2010 or 2011 when they did the Facebook sign-in, sort of social sign-in. Yahoo actually signed up to Facebook Connect at the end of 2009. And bottom line, the current CEO, Marissa Mayer, the engineer that changed the logo, came to Yahoo from Google, understands the value of access to social data. And she understands that if you're giving that sign-in information to another company, you're not getting any information on your customers.
Exactly.
So
you can't sell them ads.
No. And you can't, you're not going to be data mining like Google or Facebook, and you won't have the power. So we'll see what happens if people continue to use Yahoo by signing up, or if they just say, screw it. I liked using my Facebook for everything, and if they disappear. Because, that's a lot of people using Facebook. Billions of people that use Facebook for everything.
It's a pain in the ass, too, because I did a Windows Phone for a guy there a couple of weeks back, and it was one of the most frustrating experiences I've ever had, trying to get the bloody thing set up. And
really?
Again, you're forced to sign in with a Microsoft account. And, he tried to set it up with a Gmail, and it wouldn't allow him, and it was just one of these just real nightmarish things that I was sorry I ever took on. When you sit down, to do a favor for somebody that you think is going to take maybe 30 seconds, and you end up spending 30 minutes doing it.
Oh, easy, yeah.
But that was one of them, and I think kind of Yahoo are following the trend on that one, the same way as Microsoft did with their accounts, that you have to have a Microsoft ID to use particular things. So, but I was surprised when people still using Yahoo.
I know.
I'm surprised they're still around.
Yeah, what would they start out as? Just oh my gosh.
And they've had so many problems lately too.
They have,
service failures and things that I'm surprised that they've probably lost a lot of their clientele because of it.
Yeah, and they say they're trying to make the experience better for people, but. They got hacked not too long ago, and But luckily, like we were just talking about, they're using Facebook login. So I wonder how much Yahoo IDs they actually got.
But that's another thing too. There's been a few hacks recently where people have been advised to change their Facebook passwords because Facebook was tied in.
Yeah.
So that is the other side of it. It's a one-stop shop for hackers. That if you are signing in with social media. Apart from the fact that pretty much everybody seems to use the same username and password across every account anyway, so it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
To have one,
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Watch out for Kickstarter. I was telling Justin earlier this week that my bank sent me an email saying that my debit card had been compromised or something like that. Some fancy wording. Yeah, and it didn't really dawn on me that that was just 2 days after I got the email from Kickstarter saying that they had been hacked.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that was linked.
And what I don't like is
because I don't use that particular debit card for really anything, but I do know I had it linked up with Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Weird.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to change your passwords if something gets hacked that you use. I mean, change everything if you can. And we talk about it all the time. Use secure passwords, not 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly. Our password.
Don't tell them my password, Justin.
You're going to have to change it again. I'm sorry. That's Alan Quant, Quandt. Password 1, 2, 3, 4.
Password Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. You feeling better? Your Candy Crushing's over with?
I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple more games of Candy Crush today.
Yeah, I think everybody's feeling that way. For those that don't know, Candy Crushing is code for Alan doesn't feel good. Oh, God.
Which is code for something else.
Yes, it is.
I was in touch with Amy Newmark's publicist during the week. And she asked me to mention that one of their... She's associated with a charity called Spring Rains of Life.
Yep.
And they do work with horses and, say, children who've had bereavement issues and military veterans who maybe need some kind of healing. And they use kind of the horses for that type of work. And one of their horses, Straw, was featured in the Chicken Soup for the Soul recent book. So she asked me to mention the fact that it's now available via their website, springrainsoflife.org. I just double check that. I should know it at this point because I do yes, springrainsoflife.org is the website. And they do fantastic work with kids and with people of all ages.
It's horses. Amazing what horses will do with people that have had, stressful mental issues, emotional problems, things like that. It's a sense of security with the horses and things. Once you can basically but be one with a horse, they say, I guess it does something for you. I've ridden a horse once, and I did it all wrong. I mean, it's not even that hard, and I did it wrong. But... it was weird. I mean, I was like 10 or 11, so it was very strange for me.
I think like a bacon-flavored or scented horse would...
bacon makes
really,
everything
really,
better.
really get to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new book is it's Chicken Soup for the Soul, Miracles Happen. And as I said, one of their horses, Straw the Miracle Mare, it's called. It's featured, a story featured in the book. And they're offering autographed copies or hoofographed copies of the book. And you can buy that directly via their website. So it's pretty cool.
I wonder if we'll get any to give away.
I'm sure we could look into it.
Well, I mean, we're going to be getting the newer book, but I wonder if we can get any hoofographed. I just like that word, hoofographed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Christiana's a nice lady. I'm glad that she's doing something like that.
And she's a very because I do help her out with the website from time to time, and she nearly hates asking me to do stuff. And I don't mind doing it at all. It's no problem,
Right.
Like she asked me during the week that she was having trouble getting the the photographs on and getting a PayPal button on, so I helped her out with that. But that's why I said I'd mention it. There's a limited amount of these books available, so go and buy one.
Springrainsoflife.org.
Springrainsoflife.org, and we can put the link in the chat.
Cool. And we'll put it on our website too. We should really get a link on our website for that.
Yeah, I think actually I'm going to go ahead and throw it up on the Facebook page as well. Just while we're on the subject,
might as well.
On a related note, I'm feeling more like a spring rain of death today.
Wow.
Did I go there?
Yeah, you went there.
Is this on?
It's not.
Is this on?
No. I have you muted. No worries. Oh my gosh.
You'll be doing some poofographing, will you?
Some poopographing? I heard poopographing.
Shh, the secret's out.
It is. Holy crap.
We were talking about your series there, Alan.
Yeah, we were.
While you were Candy Crushing.
Oh yeah.
when you're Candy Crushing it. Yeah, we were discussing how far John had gotten into it, and also we were kind of discussing the Indiegogo campaign, but we didn't have much detail on it, so I wanted you to kind of talk a little bit more about it.
I don't really have any details either.
Well, I want people to know that it's not like you're just getting money so you can go buy something nice. It's really for you to continue making series and basically continue teaching. And I think it's a fantastic thing. That's what Indiegogo is for. It's the very definition of it, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I mean, it's. I want to provide these things for free, and I guess it sounds funny when you're asking for money, but I mean, you're asking for money from the people that may have a few bucks to donate. That way, everybody else can view it for free. And plus, at the end of the day, $5 or $10 or $50 even.
Oh, for a whole month's worth, or
hours and hours of, of learning. I guess that's not a bad deal there.
No, it's not. I mean, you can't even
for
take
what you get from it.
If I take a community ed course or something on web development, it's going to cost me a couple $100 for like 2 hours.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if you can continue and interact with you, because some of the things the rewards might be one-on-one sessions, which are very priceless. That helps a lot. So I think, do you have an expected date on when you're going to launch it, or is it just kind of in the works for right now?
I'm hoping by the beginning of the week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm working on the campaign video, which I recorded last night, but I still have to do the voiceover for it.
Mm-hmm.
You did a soft launch of the video last night, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
It came. I think it came out pretty cool. I made a mess, that's for sure. I think I ruined my drafting table. It was.
Does this anything to do with Candy Crush? No.
Right. He's in trouble.
No, you'd think with all the whiteboards I have in this room that I would have used one of them instead of drawing on my drafting board, but
yeah, that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, it just seemed like it would work better. I wanted a nice, clean surface. Yeah, but I recorded about an hour's worth of video that's been condensed down into about a minute.
And that hour's worth of video, probably 45 minutes of it was sorting through markers, was it?
It was. I did a lot of editing of markers, and since this isn't really a dry erase board, I have to like spray it with cleaner and really scrub off the markers. So when I make a mistake, which I do often, then I kind of had to start over, and it took me a good 5 minutes to clean the board off again, or the table. So see, that's where your campaign dollars are going.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's good though. I mean, people. The thing is, I don't want people to look and see that you have a pretty decent setup with equipment, but it's not new stuff for one, and two, I mean, it's not for what you're trying to do. I mean, if you want to be able to have videos rendering while you're working on videos for optimum output, but you can't do that. Not quite yet.
Yeah, I really need an upgrade. I take workstation selfies because I'm a nerd.
Right.
But really, it's just a lot of monitors plugged into a really old computer.
Mm-hmm.
It
is, though.
I'm probably taxing. Just doing that, I'm really taxing it.
Well, your monitors.
It's a workstation meant for web development, not for video production.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'd like to be anyways efficient in doing stuff like that. It'd be nice to be able to record and produce them at the same time. If there was.
Yeah, I'd love to be rendering them and then editing the next one rather than, edit. A lot of times I'll edit like a big batch of them, just so I don't have to wait. It's like kind of getting the flow of it. But then I gotta just, by the time I'm done recording and editing, 10 videos, it's about time for me to get some sleep. So once I go to render, I'll probably only get the chance to render one or two of them before I go to bed. And it'd be nice to just be able to, record, edit, render, or record a batch and then, render every time after I edit and then continue to edit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Just get it done. It keeps morale up here too. When things are crashing all the time or I'm doing a lot of waiting, it kind of kills the momentum.
Yeah.
When did you start going to bed? Is this a new development?
Yeah, I know, right? When did that
you're not
start?
allowed to. You have to stay up and keep producing videos.
Yep.
it's been my schedule has changed substantially between the wife being in the military and then coming back, and I got all into a daytime schedule to take care of the kids, and then now I'm somewhere in between daytime, nighttime. I went to bed at 8 in the morning this morning.
That's crazy. I was just waking up.
I mean, that's way farther than I normally go.
Yeah, that's true. You both stay up ridiculous hours.
Yeah, you're getting into my times now, Alan.
That's so
yeah, I am. I usually try to get at least a couple hours of sleep before I got to take the kids to school in the morning. So I'm usually going to bed around 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Although with the time change, I get an extra hour of darkness in the morning. So
yeah, there you go.
That's gonna screw you up altogether. So
right.
Yeah, I've had a couple of 9 and 10 a.m.s last week. Now, a couple of different things that I was trying to get finished. So I'm kind of used to those hours at this point.
Yeah, it's still weird. I mean, like, if you were just a single guy with no children doing this stuff, like it wouldn't. I don't think it would really matter at all. But when other people are living a completely different schedule than you, then it makes it really screwy, because anything you absolutely have to do during the day, you got to totally throw off your sleeping schedule.
Yeah.
In order to make that happen, and then it gets really messy and confusing. I many times I mean, if we weren't doing the show today, I wouldn't know it was Sunday. I really have.
That explains it.
What day it is.
I don't know what today is. Help me.
Yeah, you tend to find yourself sleeping in shifts in this business, anyways.
Yes,
you get 4 hours here and 2 hours there. It's probably not.
Yeah, it's really exciting when you actually pull off like a full 8 hours.
Yeah.
That rarity.
Oh my gosh! I don't know how you guys do it. I just can't. I
go to bed at 8.
I have to. I have to go to bed at a normal time and keep a sleep schedule, or I go crazy, and I don't feel like going crazy. So,
Alan, come on, let's do a late nighter. Come on, let's work on some stuff. Come on. Yeah, I just got off of work. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah, those of us that have that 9-to-5 job.
But we're on a different time schedule to Justin, so it is kind of understandable. We're used to being up at that hour. You know, it is amazing when you do get into a routine, though, because I spent 2 weeks there just going to bed really early and getting up early in the morning, and by say 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, I was just smashed. You know, I just had to go to bed. So, you know, it doesn't take long to get back into a rhythm of it again.
No, I found it kind of easy once. When I had the kids here by myself, and but what I found is that I really don't get much done during the day, and it's not even just being interrupted, but it's just so much different when at night you really don't have anything to distract you, not just because everybody's asleep, but everything's asleep.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I could drive to Walmart, and that's pretty much all I could do at 4 in the morning here. So I'm not distracted by anything. But when it's daytime, it's like, maybe I'll go out and get a cup of coffee, or maybe I'll actually go talk to humans, or
like, wait, what?
Yeah, or we need some milk. Maybe I'll go to the grocery store, and then I might as well get some stuff while I'm here, And before you know it, it's pick up the kids and then hang out with them, and now you're 7 o'clock at night and you're pooped and want to go back to bed, and you didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Work-wise.
Yeah, it's not a very productive lifestyle when you have to live like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm. I mean, our job takes a lot of focus. Not that other people's don't, but I mean, we could be working on something that really, truly takes 4 hours of just pure focus.
Oh, absolutely.
And any interruption in that could completely start the process over.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, most people don't understand that, who don't live in our little world.
And it's very easy to lose yourself. That's what my problem is. You lose yourself, you don't even realize what time it is.
Right.
Time really does slip past. Because once you get into a rhythm as well, and I don't like to stop.
Yeah, it's usually that's the times when you actually get something done really nice and you're really excited, and then you realize, I gotta go to bed. So it's like you get about 10 minutes of excitement and then out. And then people are just waking up, so you want to share it with them, and they're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning, man. I'm not happy. What are you happy about?
Yeah, that's tomorrow too, isn't it? I don't do Mondays.
Yes, it is. Let me tell you, tomorrow's Monday. Mondays. Good Lord.
So, what about that woman? Did you see that story there during the week about that woman that died 6 years ago? And basically nobody realised she was dead because her payments were on auto pay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit of a strange one.
Yes, 6 years.
I mean, that's definitely a promotion for auto pay, though. Like,
holy crap, yeah, that's good.
It definitely works.
Consistent.
I mean, you can be dead and your bill still will get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good defense, too, if you have bad credit and you're like, look, dude, I got auto pay. You don't have to worry about it. Even if I'm dead for 6 years, you're going to get paid.
Yeah, but
she must have been sitting on some really good money, or she was getting, like, Social Security or retirement.
She probably gets some kind of monthly Social Security or military or something.
Possibly, yeah. Even so.
Yeah,
but, like, it said that her neighbours didn't even notice anything unusual. It said the woman travelled a lot and she kept to herself. And it said that one of them actually even mowed her grass for her to keep things looking tidy. But it said at some point her account ran dry and the bill stopped being paid.
And then they were like, hey, now we have a problem.
It said after its warnings went unanswered, the bank holding the mortgage foreclosed on the house, which is a common occurrence in the region. And still nobody noticed what had happened inside the house. And nobody wondered out loud what had become of the owner. But it wasn't until this week when a worker sent by the bank to repair a hole in the roof made the grisly discovery. The woman's mummified body was sitting in the back seat of her car.
What?
Parked in the garage, yeah. And the key was halfway into the ignition. Strange.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, at $1,500 a month expenses, which could be modest or high, depending on how she lived, or low. Mm-hmm. But that's about $108,000 that she had to blow through for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a calculator.
It said that the woman who authorities aren't identifying until they've informed her family paid her bills from her bank account through auto pay. Neighbours said that they didn't know much about the dead woman, describing her as a woman in her 40s of German descent. Said that they never really heard from her too much, and she was probably there a couple of days, and then she'd leave for a week, and then she'd come back again, and then she might leave for a month. So, it was kind of hard to keep tabs on where she was. But they don't know what actually caused her death.
Right, that's the weird thing. They got a toxicology report, though. I remember reading that. Or they're trying to wait on one right now. Still waiting.
It said that police were dispatched to her house for a welfare check in 2007 after a neighbour reported not seeing the owner for a while. But after seeing no sign of anything amiss, the police just went away. And authorities are still waiting for a toxicology report. Yeah, so strange.
Yeah, right in your front seat with the key halfway in the ignition, and then you're just done.
Yeah. Sounds reeks of a sudden death to me.
Yeah. Aneurysm or stroke or something, maybe. I don't know. Or NSA. Who knows? FBI.
Or the price of petrol.
Is that SADS? Sudden Adult Death Syndrome?
I don't know.
Yeah.
SIDS?
Yeah.
Got a case of the SADS?
Oh, every day. Yeah. I wouldn't. Auto payments, man. I have mine set up, but I wouldn't have that kind of money every year to continually pay for stuff. Mine, as soon as I die, my money would disappear too.
Well, that's it too.
I know better than do auto payment. I pay online, but
there's a few.
I never know what my income is going to be.
No, I know. I rarely do. I have something set up as auto payment. I guess I do mine as electronic payment. I do a lot of that through the bank bill pay, but I don't set it up to pull out every month. The only thing I've set up, I think, is like the Skype and the Spreaker and things like that for the show. But if it's like rent and stuff, no. Sometimes I need the extra 5 days. Yeah,
if I were dead for 6 years and nobody knew it, I'd probably still have a Skype account.
Yeah, and go to meeting.
They'd miss your videos, Alan.
Yeah, and go to meeting. Yeah.
They'd be like, Alan's been gone for like 6 months. I'd be like, oh, he'll be back. And then another 6 months later, well, he's still not back, but we'll just watch his old videos, I guess.
I should set up some posthumous videos.
You should. You should start making some now, so then, like, when you do die in the future, we can be like, do like Tupac, and you're still really around.
Yeah, dude, I'll be making videos like Tupac, for like the next decade.
Yeah.
Have a hidden stash.
Yeah.
So that somebody can keep releasing them.
Little did anyone know Tupac was a web developer. Yeah.
Really? Fell into that one.
Yeah. Jay-Z was his graphic designer.
He was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Kanye's definitely his interior designer. Kanye.
Now that I believe.
Yes, that I believe too. Unbelievable. That's funny. So we got bacon alarm clocks. We got all kinds of different fun stuff. Fujitsu is working on their all-in-one, which is apparently so good it never has to turn off. So good on efficiency and energy, you never have to turn it off.
Is that a pair of pajamas now? All-in-one. No.
Well, they say that because, and we've talked about it before, but all the talk surrounding smartphones and tablets, it's easy to forget the desktops still occupy a lot of the working days for people. But Fujitsu hasn't forgotten about that. They're wheeling out a pair of all-in-one units that will, of course, go with you on your 9 to 5 journey. The S Primo X923 comes with a 23-inch 1920 by 1080 LCD screen and a wide variety of built-to-order options, including a choice of a Core 3 through an i3 CPU. They're using Intel, which is good. HD hard drive, the solid-state disk or regular disk, 16 gigs of RAM, and it's very Fujitsu, but the company is also trumping low-power active mode. They have a sleep state, they call it, that'll keep the hardware on and connected to your network, but drawing so little power that you don't actually need to turn it off. Now, the other model that's been out, that actually came out today, was the X923-T, which, as you can guess, is exactly the same as the 923, but with a touchscreen. So both are available today. So it's time you started sending these flattering emails to your company's purchasing manager, try and get you a new all-in-one from Fujitsu. I don't know what they cost. I'm not sure what they're running, but I've thought a lot about getting an all-in-one.
Are they meant to be portable? Is that what they're saying?
No, they're just saying that it draws so little power that you never have to worry about turning it off. See, like with me in networking, we have to at night. So we have 18 computers. Now, it wouldn't kill us if I left those running all the time, but it does draw a lot of power. So I have them shut down at midnight every night. And then, of course, they use them for their 8 hours during the day, and then they turn off again. So they're saying with this, you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that's, such a huge selling point, because really computers don't take, all-in-ones especially, don't take that much energy to run. Everything's so Energy Star efficient and with LEDs.
Well, especially if they're LED. I've got an all-in-one touch, but it's LCD, and I'm sure that
and this one's an LCD.
Power.
And this Fujitsu's an LCD.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. You'd think they would have went with LED and really boasted it, but probably would have drove the price up too high or something.
Yeah, that could be.
But they're also, Fujitsu's now, they're working on a palm scanning laptops, and they're saying that it will not be fooled by any kind of severed limbs or anything like that, because, yeah, I know, right? Severed limbs.
That is an issue.
And that's always what happens, yeah, in spy movies. Now, for all the popularity of fingerprint scanners, Fujitsu now believes that it can do one better. And they've been working on palm-based systems for the last few years and already seen some of their turnstiles, wallets, and tablets that are accessed from your hand. But Fujitsu believes that palm vein sensing is around 1,000 times more secure than conventional biometric methods, and it's implementing the technology in its new business-focused laptops due out this week. So it's not scanning your palm like a fingerprint. It's scanning your palm's vein system, which is kind of crazy. So
I guess that'd be harder to replicate, I guess.
Yeah, they say it's much different than just having fingerprints, which could be, someone could take your fingerprint off of something and use it and break it. But when they're scanning your palm, it has to be an active vein system that they're scanning.
So is that the layout of your veins, the way your veins are kind of mapped out? Is that what they're reading, or?
I'm not really sure. They say they've been shown around some of the models which have the new sensor fitted to an area that's about the size and position of the company's fingerprint scanners were, just below the bottom right corner. And using it, they say you hold your hand a few inches above the sensor, and hardware will quickly scan the unique arrangement of your veins. So it must be like a map.
So the arrangement, it is. It would be the layout,
Yeah, so if it judges
Pretty
you're the
cool.
real deal, it's going to open up, your computer, and if not, then it won't. But now, of course, your biggest objection, of course, they say would be that if some nefarious type wanted to get to your Amazon account, all they have to do is grab a sword and chop off your hand. Well, turns out biology has provided us, a built-in failsafe. Fujitsu's technology only works while blood is flowing through your veins, so the lifeless limb can't be used to breach the wall. Having seen this technology in action, we're reasonably sure that it's ready for prime time, and we're excited to see this foolproof as Fujitsu claims it is. Even if it is, however, the easiest and least messy way to access someone else's login will always be to ask them, an approach that worked just fine for Edward Snowden. So, I don't know, handprint scanners or palm vein scanning.
So it wouldn't work if you got somebody to slap you in the face and then you used a handprint on your face to...
No.
No, it wouldn't work that way.
No, you got to have their severed hand, and then you got to put some tubes in there, and then put an air pump so the blood's still flowing, and then... Wait, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of that at all. It just sounds, it seems like Fujitsu's trying to get their name back out there, and I don't know. I've never really heard of a Fujitsu laptop. I mean...
They did in conjunction with Siemens, didn't they? For a while.
I don't know.
Fujitsu Siemens, they did... Well, I know they did a desktop.
Oh, that's weird.
Computer.
That's even weirder.
They weren't very good. They were pretty low-spec machines.
Yeah, that sounds strange.
Maybe they didn't get released in the US, but I have come across a few of them in my time. And I just remember them being problematic.
Oh, yeah. You know what else has been problematic, and it's kind of a big debate right now? It's drones, personal drones.
Yeah.
There's something about an appeal from the FAA, right? Where was I reading that?
See, that's something that I was reading earlier on as well. We were talking about it was that the NTSB judge ruled that the Federal Aviation Administration could not fine anybody for using the small hobby plane-sized commercial drones because there wasn't any legal precedence there for them. So technically there is no law, so they're not against the law.
Right, yet.
So that's what they're saying. And the FAA are claiming that it goes against everything that they've ever claimed with regard to the drones. But apparently they've appealed the decision. The FAA have appealed the decision. They said that it's appealing the NTSB administrative law judge to the full National Transportation Safety Board, which is the effect of staying the decision until the board rules.
Oh, okay.
So the agency is concerned that this decision could impact the safe operation of the national airspace system and the safety of people and the property on the ground. Which I can...
Well, I mean, if one of those falls out of the sky and lands on my head, I mean, come on.
Yeah. And the other side of it, too, is we were talking about it earlier on, there should be a kind of a minimum height.
Yeah, there's got to be a ceiling. A flight ceiling of some sort.
Yeah. And have it set that it's not based on sea level, that it's actually based on ground level.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So they shouldn't actually come within, say, 50 or 100 feet of the ground.
No.
But it's for the time being, the legal situation around drones remains as murky as ever. It seems plenty of real estate companies are shooting photographs of houses from small quadcopters, and they remain in heavy use for video production as well. But the FAA continues to argue that commercial drone usage is essentially illegal. Because it's perfectly okay to fly these small drones for non-commercial reasons, though the FAA would prefer it if people at least followed a few common sense guidelines. But it says that they're somewhat out of step with reality on this issue. The FAA wasn't expected to make any rules for commercial drones usage before the end of 2015, and maybe all this activity around the court case will now get it speed up the process a little bit.
Wow.
Like, this isn't a recent issue. We've had remote controlled planes flying around for a long time.
Yeah, but those have been, people have been in clubs with those, and they go to airstrips, and they know where they're not supposed to fly them. Some people fly them where they're not supposed to, I'm sure. But now people are taking this whole drone thing because you can attach a camera to them.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. They're attaching these really monstrous cameras to them and flying around and spying on people. Mm-hmm. And how do you restrict that,
Have you guys seen the TED video, the TED Talk, where the people that developed, I don't know if it's this particular drone that we're looking at in the picture here, but they developed, I'm pretty sure it is because it looks just like it. But there's a video on there that shows how these things maneuver, and it's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they'll throw up like a hula hoop in the air, and it will track the motion of it and fly through it on its own.
Really?
I mean, things like that. Yeah, it's crazy, and it learns how to do things even better each time it does it. Like trying to go through a small space the first time, if it can figure out a better way to like spin itself and flip it. So like I don't know, it's crazy. It's worth watching.
It's their genius machine, and this quadcopter design that has come out because it's very stable, and being able to rotate one of the rotors faster or slower and things like that gives it amazing maneuverability.
Yeah,
and like you said, the learning of it, the software and the memory of it. Years ago, they were testing little tiny ones of these in groups of like 20 to see if they all could fly together. They were
amazing videos.
Yes, those are insane.
Yeah, they showed that towards the end of the TED Talk. It was pretty cool. They'll like go in like grid formations and yeah, it's pretty neat.
And they start learning, and it's unbelievable. But I can understand people are upset.
And they're all tracking each other too. Yeah. They're all communicating with each other. It's pretty intense.
But like they are becoming more commonplace. You even see them. I don't know if anybody watches Gold Rush, but they used them pretty heavily in that series of Gold Rush as well to get kind of close to the action. And they've had a few mishaps with them as well. But
well, then people use them also for scouting. They go up and I guess you could use it for hunting too if you really wanted to cheat and just go super high and see where the animals are.
That's another thing they showed that was really cool. Was they had one? I think it actually had an Xbox Connect connected to it, which those things are actually pretty cool.
They're amazing technology.
And they flew it into a building, and it was not only was it mapping the building in real time, like a 3D model was like being built on the screen as it was flying through.
Wow!
But it was figuring out the best way to get from point A to point B every like 500 times a second. It was recalculating and refiguring it out, and it's just amazing. I mean. Yeah, definitely should watch it. I just watched that last night, actually, for the first time.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I've gotten into TED Talks a lot, and I've actually seen a lot of them on Netflix lately. They have a TED thing on Netflix, and they're just short little videos about 4 to 5 minutes, but fun to watch. I like TED Talks. I want to go to one really bad. But drones, everybody's talking about. I mean, I'd like to have a drone, but what the hell would I ever do with it?
Have fun with it,
I guess, but fly it around and land it and then go back home? I don't know.
There's a company here in Sligo that they're called Hexicam Aerials, and they go around taking aerial photographs, and they call to your house to see if you want to buy an aerial photograph of your house.
No, thanks. My roof is dirty.
But they do kind of they're tied in with a local film company as well, so they're kind of used for that too.
Yeah, I could understand it being used in film and things like that for new, camera views and things like that. But
they're using these. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily the camera is not important on it, but they're using them for building and things like that too. That was in this video. They can be trained to take parts.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
You just give it the blueprint, and all of them work together to build this. It was simple contraptions with it looked like giant. Do you remember the toy Connects when we were kids?
Favorite toys. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like giant
together.
versions of those. Yeah, but I mean, if it was picking it up, snapping it together. Another one had already had another one waiting, another piece waiting as the other one. The one in front of it's putting theirs in, and then it goes, and it was pretty. A human might be able to still do it faster, but.
Oh man, yeah. But that's just the stepping stone. I mean, we're seeing Google buying robots. We're seeing drones get more and more impressive. And then we're seeing robots being more and more impressive and being able to stand up on their own and walk around and not lose their balance. And that's creepy, man. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, in the next 10, 20 years or something.
Skynet.
Skynet's already there.
Judgment Day.
Google. Google. The Umbrella Corporation. Let's take a quick break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk some WTF news here on Livespeak Radio.
No! Yeah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Ah! followed you through the burning fields and down in the valley, whoa, where every bone and atom my own told me never to go. Cut off all of my hair and the billows wouldn't move. So the locks for Pandora's box and headed straight on back to you. You know, Rome, baby, is a burning. And your last chance, voodoo dance, just ain't working. But if I was your shipwreck, baby, would you be my sea? Make me pay for the words you say, because I'm the misery. For the storm clouds are gathering, the sky is red. I still remember every word that you say. Mother Mary, quite contrary, tell me how does your garden grow? With poppy seeds, my love in the breeze, from the seven seas to roam. But Mary, Mary, won't you let me in? You know I'm dying to drink the wine. She said it's cursed, it'll quench out your thirst, never's evil in the vine. But Mary, it's already on my lips, drunk from your fingertips. But if I was your shipwreck, baby, would you be my sea? Make me pay for the words you say, because I'm the misery. Well, the storm clouds are gathering and the sky is red. I still remember every word that you said. And I was alone in the hills, whiskey, water, and pills. My baby, she knows it's a pleasure that kills. Love for the board, at least I have been told. She's courageous and loving, exhausted and cold. Well, I followed you through the burning fields and down in the valley, whoa, where every bone and atom my own told me never to go. And I cut off all of my hair and the billows wouldn't move. So the box of Pandora's locks and then straight on back to you. But if I was your shipwreck, baby, would you be my sea? Make me pay for the words to say, because I'm the misery. For the storm clouds are gathering and the sky, she is red. I still remember every word that you say.
You are listening to John, Justin, and Alan on Livespeak Radio.
If it's geeks you want, then it's geeks you got. You're listening to the Geeks of Livespeak, Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We won't keep you any longer. Back to the show.
John Rainey.
That was nice. That was really nice. Wow. Again, I want to thank IndianaTalks.com, Spreaker.com, and of course we're on iTunes. And no thanks to iTunes or to Yahoo, so you just threw me off. We're not on Yahoo at all, but livespeakradio.com, you can head over there and see all our old episodes, or listen to all our episodes and read all of our tech stories and what the fuck stories and everything else. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh? That was nice. You like that? And speaking of what the fuck, I think it might be time for some WTF news.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck? Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children.
First up, what do we have? WTF. We kind of talked about one earlier, the woman's auto payments going on during her death. I want to talk about the new orgasm machine for women.
Funny you mention that one. I have that open in front of me.
Oh, of course you do, and your pants off.
I just knew that was going to be the first one you were going to work.
Hell yeah. There's an orgasm machine for women that could deliver climaxes at the push of a button. Let me repeat that, because yes, that is what I said. An orgasm machine for women that could deliver a climax at the push of a button. You won't need men. Scientists have designed a machine that they can help women or achieve orgasm at the push of a button. The device, which is a little smaller than a pack of cigarettes, uses electrodes attached to the patient's spine to trigger an orgasm via remote control. Doctors think it could help women who are unable to achieve orgasm by other means. Or he's not doing it right. North Carolina Stuart Malloy told new scientists that he thought of the idea while performing a procedure on a female patient.
Please clarify the procedure.
He's like, taking a look at somebody's spine going, I wonder if she orgasms. Interesting. They say, quote, I was placing the electrodes and suddenly the woman started exclaiming emphatically. I asked her what was up and she said, you're going to have to teach my husband to do that. Wow.
And he was an eye doctor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a dentist or something. Look at your teeth. Something's wrong with your orgasms. The clinical trials. Who was in the clinical trials and why didn't I get a phone call? Oh, wait, I'm not a female. Well, I could have observed, I guess. Clinical trials of the device are set to begin later in this year, not this later. So it hasn't even happened yet. Oh, okay. Malloy thinks his invention could help rekindle the spark between old lovers. I think that's nature. Old people shouldn't be having sex anyway.
Hey!
Hey! I'm just kidding. If you got John Rainey. If you got a couple who've been together for a while and it's just not happening anymore, maybe they'll get through it a bit easier with this thing implanted in their spine with electrodes jammed up there. The idea sounds grand, but the surgery...
Maybe they just won't need it.
Maybe they just
why
won't
even
need it.
Go through the trouble? Just push the button.
Right. That's what I don't understand. It's like you're going to implant this and give the woman the orgasm, so there won't be a need for a man. So I guess he'll just watch.
I mean, is there a limit? I mean, can you just continue to push this button while walking down the street?
Well, the funny thing is we talk about things getting hacked and shit all the time. I wonder if you can hack somebody.
See these women collapsing all over the street.
Yes, dude. City bus and just hit a button and all the women are just... Oh, that's funny.
What was that noise?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's the noise I make.
What's this? There's a procedure. So
yeah, I have no idea.
The patient would remain conscious so that the surgeon could correctly pinpoint the right nerves to fit the electrodes in this patient's spinal cord. You see, that's where it gets me. They're actually positioned in the spinal cord.
That sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Like, risk everything for an orgasm.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Chances are that you could never walk again, but fuck it, it's worth it.
Who would need to walk if you could just push a button and go? How did that go again, Justin?
I can't remember. Anyway.
Moving swiftly along.
Jesus.
Yeah, so Dr. Justin. But, yeah. I think we've pretty much covered all the stories.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on this one anymore. I'm done with that story. There's a gambler, though, that sued the casino because he lost while playing drunk, and he thinks that he should be owed $500,000 because he.
I agree.
I agree. Give it back.
I agree.
Oh my God.
100%. I agree.
He lost $500,000 during Super Bowl weekend, and he's arguing he shouldn't have to pay because he was blackout drunk. So he must have got a line of credit then. He's saying he shouldn't have to pay. Well, don't give him the goddamn line of credit.
See, that's the whole secret behind the casinos.
Oh yeah.
They keep filling you with drink. They don't have any windows, so you have no idea what time it is.
Well, and they comp these people too, and they give them free rooms and free meals and everything like that, and they just keep spending money and losing it.
Bump up the air conditioning so you don't be sleepy and
yeah, and everything's loud. I mean. The sound is loud, the visuals are crazy, the carpet's always really, really nuts, the ceilings are crazy, everything keeps you stimulated nonstop. And that's why people get blackout drunk while they're playing, but he said apparently...
Could you sue if you're using the orgasm machine?
No.
Well, losing?
If somebody was using it on you, yeah, absolutely. You could just say it was hacked.
Yeah.
You just had to go back to the orgasm machine, didn't you?
Yeah. I haven't changed the story on my screen. I'm leaning back in my chair. I'm being lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy said he was thoroughly drunk during the hours he spent playing Pai-Gow and blackjack at the Grand. And his legal team, of course he has a legal team, plans to rely on eyewitness testimony and surveillance video to prove that he was visibly intoxicated. That's fine. You maybe have been intoxicated, but you still sat there and played, and you had people and your fucking attorneys by you. They should have told you to stop playing. I don't think he should get his money back. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's probably taken it that they took advantage of a person who was inebriated.
Yeah.
Or probably helped to get him into the situation.
I think that what might get him, if they were serving him and kept serving him, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're responsible. But at the same time, like, you know, you have to kind of exercise a bit of cop on here.
Yeah.
Don't get drunk in a casino.
No shit. You're
you know?
$500,000. You take a credit limit. Do you really want to go get drunk after getting that credit limit? No.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much he's going to spend in legal fees.
The State Gaming Board is investigating it, apparently.
Yeah.
So they must think he has some form of case, or maybe they investigate everything.
It's probably just one of those where this guy, I mean, he obviously has a lot of money and has an amazing legal team that's going to make a really big stand. I mean, he'll probably get his money back. And I don't know what that'll do for Vegas, because people will just start claiming that they were drunk.
Well, look, this guy was drinking before he got there. It says he drank in the limousine from Las Vegas airport to the Grand.
Yes,
he drank more during dinner with friends. So he hadn't even gone to the casino, and he had already drank.
Yeah. See, and you can play that two ways. It could be, well, I got to the table. They should have cut me off and not let me play. But that's not their responsibility to look and, you know, do a breath alkalizer, whatever, breath test. What about an alcoholizer? What the hell was coming out?
It's some people don't get stupid drunk, so it can be hard to tell. Do you know what
true.
I mean?
Some
and if you're not a trained eye,
yeah.
You know, like these guys at the table are already watching out for cheats.
Yeah, but they have cameras, they have security guards. It's going to be a weird case. I'm curious to see what happens with this. And now the suit actually alleges that the Grand, of course, comped him dozens of drinks while he gambled away hundreds of thousands of dollars, and finally sleeping off his drunkenness on that Saturday, which was February 1st. Johnson says he didn't learn how much he had lost until the next day. He didn't even know he lost $500,000 apparently, because he was blacked out drunk. We'll see.
But he didn't have to take the drink.
No.
They could have comped him coffee.
Right.
Could have comped him
But he was already drunk when he got there, so just keep it going.
Yeah. Technically, they took advantage of a drunk man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess to a point. I don't know. I just know when you go to a casino, you're going to lose money. That's what they're designed for. The odds and statistics are not in your favor. And then you add alcohol to that, you're going to lose even more money. So I bet he gets his money back. Just because with the legal team, and they'll come up with a whole bunch of eyewitnesses that say he wasn't accepting the drinks or something, and they were forcing them on him and whatever. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the weirdness.
That is weird. $500,000 in Super Bowl weekend. Wish I had that kind of money.
Yay! He obviously had it if they could afford him that kind of a line of credit. They can obviously check him up to see if if he's good for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're going to offer that to him, they know he's got money.
Yeah.
You must have to, of course, be approved for that somehow based on what you do, and I don't know.
Yeah. I say it's his fault.
How do you deal with complaints at work, Justin?
How do I deal with complaints? Usually, like if something's wrong with our software or something. Like a ticket system.
Anthrax.
Do you ignore them for 8 years?
No, usually just like 5 or 6 years, but never 8.
Yeah. Apparently, the story that I saw during the week was a lost password leaves police department complaints unchecked for 8 years.
That's ridiculous.
Until recently, the Delhi Police Department in India had been enjoying a baffling long streak totally free of complaints. Of course, it's a lot easier to keep a clean slate when you never check the complaint database in the first place.
Exactly.
Because someone lost the password 8 years ago. They mustn't have had the password as password or 1234.
No.
But why didn't they sign in with Facebook?
I know, right?
Says you can imagine the officers who finally opened the porthole were more than a little overwhelmed at the 600 complaints waiting for them on the other end. The complaints themselves had all come from the Central Vigilance Committee, or the CVC, India's anti-corruption agency. When a complaint is filed against the government official, which includes police officers, the CVC will either handle the matter themselves or forward it to the appropriate precinct. But in 2006, the CVC created the porthole, allowing them to put the complaints online so that each department could log in and access as needed. When the CVC realised they had not had any feedback from the Delhi Police Department since 2006, there's a second one. They didn't cop on for 6 years either. They called a couple of officers in only to find out that the 667 complaints were going untouched because the Delhi Police Department couldn't remember the password. Finally, after an hour-long training session, presumably to learn how to remember a password, the cops went back to tackle their very, very long list of grievances with password in hand. And we can only hope a security question. And let's hope they have an easier time remembering the name of their first pet. Yeah.
Wow. That's bad. Don't lose your passwords.
And it wasn't stuck on a post-it note on the bottom of the screen either.
Oh, that's too bad.
They should have at least done that.
Yeah. At least store it somewhere everybody can get to it. Why not?
Exactly.
There's
I can't find my post-it notes.
Use digital ones.
What?
Yeah, I believe it. They're out there.
On screen.
For real?
Yeah.
Who?
There's a family that actually, they got sick from eating LSD tainted meat from a Florida Walmart.
Hey!
Could you believe that?
Yeah, I saw that during the week. That was
LSD?
weird.
Good God. I can't get the story to open, so I don't know what the details are. I just know that they had went to the county medical examiner's office, reported that the this is down in Florida through a Walmart. So if you guys shop at Walmart,
actually, I've got a nice. I don't forget what you call this, but where you go back to the story from the beginning of the show.
Oh, callback?
Is that what it is?
Usually in comedy, it's a callback, or in this, it's just what Alan does.
NASCAR bacon at Walmart in Florida. It exists.
NASCAR bacon.
Give me some NASCAR bacon. Yeah.
Is it
it's for real?
NASCAR
I got a photo
brand?
of it.
Bacon.
It just says NASCAR bacon.
Okay.
Only at Walmart in Florida. Right next to the LSD flavored steak.
Yes.
Or whatever it was. I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
But sure, look, there's worse things being injected into cows recently. Didn't we talk about the guys that were abusing cattle? Yeah.
Could have to deal with
well,
that.
I didn't hear. Are these people complaining about the free LSD that they got, or?
Yeah.
I think they are. Yeah. I don't think they meant to ingest it in their Thursday night steak dinner.
Apparently,
that would definitely make a nice Thursday night.
It'd make a good crust on the outside of it.
Apparently, they spent a week jumping around with luminous bands around their neck. Just couldn't stop dancing.
I'm sure. Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the craziness of the world. That's our WTF news. Anybody got anything else going on? We talked about your series, your videos, your Indiegogo. Yeah. I don't have anything else. John, you got anything else going on?
Not this week, no. Just lots of work. That's it. Nothing exciting. Well, nothing exciting, unless you're a client of mine.
Unless you're wearing a G-string trying to steal Batman's costume.
Really?
I prefer the H string.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, figure that one out.
Some guy in Australia actually wearing a G-string broke in and stole a Batman costume.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a guy in the UK going around asking people to perform sex acts on him using cheese.
I do that.
There's another word.
I use, easy cheese. Cheese Whiz in the can. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Cheese Whiz!
No, this is an actual physical slice of cheese.
See, that's hardcore. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty impressive. Very inventive.
Yes, very much so. Well, that's all we got. Unless you guys have anything exciting, I think that does it for our show. remember, head over to IndianaTalks.com and get their mobile app. Take a screenshot of it. Send it to IndianaTalks@gmail.com and get your $50, if that's still going on. I think it is. Head over to Spreaker.com if you want to hear our episodes, and LivespeakRadio.com if you want to check out all the news stories you've heard from today's show and links. You can find them there. If you're interested in advertising and sponsoring us, you can send us an email to marketing@livespeakradio.com. Or if you know anybody that wants to be on the show or would be a good guest, send us an email at ontheair@livespeakradio.com. And follow us.
We don't do paranormal.
We don't. I'm sorry. No. Whatever his name was, Chris Hartwell or something. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook.com/LivespeakRadio and Twitter @LivespeakRadio. That's it. That does it for us. We'll see you next week here on Livespeak Radio, where we do it live.
Thank you for listening to Livespeak Radio with hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Quant. Tune in next week to hear more amazing tech news, gadget reviews, and interviews. Don't be afraid to release your inner geek. Listen to Livespeak.